The three big moments that stand out for the season for me were Houston, Daytona, and Nashville. The others were kind of second to that in my mind. You had a couple days. What races stood out to you?
So the fun stood out to me.
Okay.
Like I really loved so Daytona, one of the things you're not going to top, just the jumping in the ocean.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about it.
Even before you jumped in the ocean, we drive the van, the new litter box.
Yes.
And we park it right by the ocean, nobody thinking anything of it. And we go into this biker bar we didn't go to the biker bar for a beer. We actually went for food because we were starving.
It's the only thing open.
And we walked in there.
No dice.
And then that one big guy hugged us because we had the Moto Academy stuff on. And I was
really?
oh shit, we're getting killed.
What?
Oh yeah. We went in that front door. You and Dan went upstairs.
Yeah.
And me and Sinjin went in the front door, and this monster of a human being walked up, and I had the Moto Academy shirt on, and he said, Moto Academy, Ken Zero. And he gave me a hug, and I was like, oh, God.
What's wrong with that?
I mean, I'm pretty big, and this guy was like, he had fur. Like, I felt like I got a coat. Like, it was.
I had a coat.
Yeah, he was big. But, after that, the fun part was, Dan.
Hang on. We got to back up, because Daytona was like a pivotal moment in the season. And part of the deal is in this, like, long form thing we're going to do is, like, we're going to show the footage of Daytona that didn't make it on YouTube. The ending of the Daytona video this year was this sweet little like, oh, baby AJ, would never think we would be, you know what I mean? That is not what happened, at all. It's like totally the opposite of what happened. So like we had done, Houston made the main, Tampa missed the main. Don't know what happened at Tampa. I wasn't there. I think we made the main the next round.
Arlington Triple Crown, third round. We made the Triple Crown without having to go to the LCQ.
Right.
And then Daytona.
And then it was Daytona.
But there's just a lot that goes into Daytona that's not a normal weekend.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
right.
It's already maybe a little jostled around just with the setup.
Yeah.
And it went kind of downhill from there.
It went downhill.
But we did.
Not for us. We had a great.
We did. We had a great time. We did struggle with the front end of the bike pretty much the whole day. Shout out to Factory Connection. They were able to kind of love on him a little bit.
Yeah, the thought process.
And Tyler Stepek for helping us.
We were doing everything I felt like in our power, right? We don't have parts.
Exactly.
It's not like we have a second set of forks that I can just be like, oh, well, let's just try this other set.
Right. Well, our perspective, right, is the story we believe what happened is like AJ ran such a soft setup that those forks were just getting mangled.
Finally caught up to him. Yeah.
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 The forks were just getting mangled.
Yeah.
But yeah, so AJ, the night you left the LCQ, somewhere in the middle of it.
Sir, you have to talk into the mic.
Yeah, you got to talk into the mic.
It's his first time.
It's his first time. Yeah. So, and then we do a little interview, none of which I used. Because you were just coming after the guy. Everything. It was the most hypocritical conversation I've ever had with you. Because you literally said...
you were pissed.
What'd you say?
We were like, okay.
No, you said something really funny. It was something along the lines of like, he hit me, so now I'm going to go hit him because that's not how you should ride. I was like, what? Like, well, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I thought he hit me intentionally. And I'm at the point in my career where I'm like, if somebody's going to hit me like that intentionally... I am going to break their leg, but
which doesn't make any sense. Logically.
Yeah, I guess so. It's just like, don't mess with me. I'm there to do my thing. Like I'm not going to hit you.
Yeah. Don't put me at risk.
Yeah.
Right.
Or I'll break your leg. And so when I watch that footage back,
it's the or.
It's the mafia mentality.
Everything's good. Everything's good.
Break his legs.
Dude, until you're like, well, let me just do the same thing to him.
That's the Catanzaro in me. We got that Italian.
Little Italian. We got that in New York.
Then I got home and watched the footage, and I'm like, it wasn't his fault.
So here's what was wild about that.
It was
night.
partially his fault, but it was partially my fault.
You get there, you hop in the car, you head home, and then all of us are there. What?
He checked out on us. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then like the three of us are left. And that night of racing was so epic.
Epic.
Like the 250 main was insane. And we're sitting right at like the quad where bikes are just barely making it. The whole moto, right? And then the 450 race was insane. And I can't remember why.
Tomax, why?
Yeah. And then they mobbed the freaking field. That's when the tough block story happens.
Which was crazy.
Also one of the funniest.
I had not remembered that was a thing. So I just see this.
No, they just mowed it down.
Sea of people. And I'm just like, oh boy.
No, like
bikes are still on the track.
yeah, literally there were bikes on the track. And what was so funny is on the broadcast, they're like, oh, it's so great in Daytona. Like they can like storm the podium. And it's like, then you see like the footage of the
gates
fans
just being mobbed down.
Just mowing people down. There's bikes on the track and there's just people sprinting. Oh my gosh, it was much
crazy.
Fun. And then and then the most iconic night of our lives happened, I think, for this season.
That a lot of things happened that night. I mean, like because of Dan and that night and AJ, my son decided he figured out his future for the rest of his life. He's like, yeah, I want to be with you guys forever.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Now I have to pay for school. Thank you.
Yep. Well,
but the biker bar got a dog.
You got a dog.
Well, the whole thing is we're always searching for food, right? Like by the time we get out of a facility,
it's midnight.
A track, it's crazy late. Post COVID, nobody's open anymore.
Right.
And we decided that this biker bar on the beach was our best bet.
Dude, so we leave Daytona because
Good thinking.
Yeah, well, it's bike week.
Yeah,
so
we're trying to get away from.
Yeah, we're like, we got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of Daytona. And then we were staying north of Daytona. We're like, let's just go over there, try to find something that's open. And Jamie doesn't eat Waffle House anymore.
Well, you basically tried to kill me.
No, Waffle House is great.
Waffle House is great.
Jamie,
I was going IHOP. Waffle House was no. I'm not. No. I did the Mexican. I did the sushi. I did everything. But when you have the Waffle House we had and you shit for 5 hours straight, there's something wrong.
I love Waffle House. So we can't go to Waffle House, which is usually our go-to.
It is.
Because it's always open. It's always consistent.
Open. Yeah, it's the same every time.
It's the same every time,
Dad, I'll start shitting the bed.
So we go.
No more.
I was in charge of food. I don't know why that always lands on me.
That's pretty much you every time.
I don't know why, dude. I hate that job, but whatever. So I found the only thing that was open that may have had a kitchen open. It's this little.
What's going on with that couch?
Which part?
Yeah, they're like sickly over there.
Yeah.
You guys okay?
No, we'll make it. We have plenty of time to recover now.
Yeah, now we have a couple months.
I got to keep going.
Yeah, I know. Let's do one of those. I'm pretty sure I got jet sick. Did I tell you that?
Jet sounded sick yesterday.
I know. And I was definitely sick with him last week.
Hey, on the positive side, we didn't get you sick all year. We waited till the last round to get sick.
Exactly.
Well, don't do it now because this is where I make my money.
Oh my gosh. So anywho, we find this little pub like out on the beach. Went up, no food, typical. We're like, all right, it's a gas station night. But the whole trip there, we had a really interesting conversation in the van because we were talking about like Daytona did not go our way, racing wise, whatever. But then the three of us, and who else was there?
St.
John. We were just talking about like, how cool is it that we get to do this?
Yeah.
We're like, we're at Daytona. We can't possibly have a bummer day at Daytona.
Right.
It's
Make
Daytona.
the memories. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and we were just talking about the memories we're making. We're talking about like, just how like Columbia, Missouri. Like,
Shout out Como.
Yeah. Burlington, Vermont.
Never heard of it.
Hazleton, Pennsylvania.
Yo.
Let's go.
Let's go,
that's
Cam.
good, huh?
Never thought you were getting that in a million years. Never thought you were getting that.
But just like, doesn't make any sense for any of us, right? So it's like we're at Daytona, like it's awesome. Like we're in Florida, that's awesome.
It is.
So anywho, it's all snow. It's like
That's
snowing
why
out.
we're sick because we've gone from 12 degrees to 90 degrees to 12 degrees, rain, 90 degrees.
Oh, we were out in the rain all day yesterday. Anywho,
and then the ocean.
so we're at this place. We're like, all right, it's a gas station dinner kind of night, whatever. We're walking back to the van after talking about all these memories, and we're like, I love that I could take credit for this, by the way. I'm like, you know, it'd be a good memory if we went and stuck our feet in the water.
Because we're parked, like the van is parked like beachfront.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
And
there. It's an option.
I say, you know, it'd be cool if we like, you know, put our toes in the water.
Not knowing the laws of Florida.
We'll get to that. And then Dan goes, yeah, all right. And rips his shirt off and runs towards the ocean.
With his socks on because he didn't want to get sand in his toes.
That is
That was the whole. So the
ridiculous
whole reason all of this happened after you said you would like to dip your toes in the water. I'm like, there's no way I'm ruining the rest of my night to put my toes in the ocean, right? Because sand, water, shoes, like none of that mixes, right? Yeah. So it's a commitment level, even if you're just dipping your big toe in there.
Yep.
So I'm like, well, if I'm ruining the rest of my evening, then I'm ruining it completely. So I'm like, making memories, Cam. Here we go, buddy.
Yeah, we ran into the ocean.
Straight.
And that was that.
Well, you and I got like waist deep.
Yeah, no, Dan went.
We thought we lost Dan. Like I thought a shark took him and he went right under the water.
Yeah, Dan went for it. I mean, that was just, oh my gosh, that was so much fun. I just love that we did that.
Imagine just the next morning, everybody's talking about how they can't find Dan. I'm like, what happened? Just the shark got him.
Yeah, the shark.
It's the ocean, man.
Did we think a shark?
It's dangerous out there.
Shark got him.
No, we didn't know. I think Dan knew. I didn't know that like you couldn't do that.
I didn't.
Right? Yeah, dusk
It's
to dawn.
1 in the morning.
Yeah,
right?
dusk to dawn.
It's 1 in the morning, right? And we're just in the ocean. Dan comes running out of the water. He's like, scatter!
Yeah, everybody in the van stat.
Well,
Yeah.
you're forgetting the other part as
What?
we're running down into the ocean. Excuse us as the couple was enjoying the moonlight nakedness on the beach.
That's
Really?
right.
Oh yeah, they were
right there, dude.
They were
No way.
they were heing and sheeing, and we were running.
Yeah, we totally were
Oh,
like
we
a
messed
cock
that
block
night up.
for that guy for sure.
Yeah, they're just like on the beach, and we're like, yeah,
yeah,
like
we're-
running towards the ocean.
Making a scene.
Oh, what a moment! What a moment! That was so much
Then
fun.
running back to the van
Back to the
so we
van.
don't get arrested and get back to the hotel.
Yeah, put your clothes on wet, which at this point I'm fine with, right? Because that was the whole thing. I'm like, I'm just going to be pissed that my feet are wet now.
Yeah.
But when I was completely wet, I'm like, yeah, that was pretty cool.
Oh, it was so much fun.
And I knew we only had a gas station stop and then
Right.
the hotel. So
Dude, we had, gosh, it was just the most fun season we've had.
If you guys enjoyed this podcast clip and you want to listen to full episodes, go download them. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and I think that's it. Go download them there. Give them a listen. If you want to watch full episodes, which I tell you what, it's even better to do that. Go to club.themotoacademy.com because Moto Academy subscribers inside of the app have exclusive access to watch the entire episodes. And not only that, the subscribers actually can send in their questions to be answered in the podcast as well. Club.themotoacademy.com. Go subscribe.